Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Max with another Dead by Daylight video, and today's video I wanted to talk about luck. MintSkull recently released a video titled The Most Outdated Features in DBD, and there's a few different components in that video. I won't go into full detail with it. I'll leave it linked in the description if you do want to check it out, though. I wanted to talk about the first section that he was introducing that feels like an outdated or ignored mechanic, and that's luck in Dead by Daylight. For those of you who don't know, and I guess this serves as a tiny PSA for everybody, luck only affects the chance that you have of unhooking yourself in the game. That's it. So there's no changes to, like, I think the most notable one that everyone thought was chests. Your chest items don't get any luckier with luck. And on top of that, there used to be a increased chance of escaping from bear traps from Trapper. But that's been gone from the game for a while. So luck only affects the opportunity of unhooking yourself. And if you play Dead by Daylight, you know it's not really a good idea to unhook yourself, unless you have Deliverance. Deliverance is, I mean, you can see my build, Deliverance Slippery Meat. I'm trying to do a challenge to unhook myself 50 times, and it made me think about luck, and that's kind of what prompted this video. So I wanted to kind of go over, like, what could luck be in Dead by Daylight? You know, like, if luck had more of a relevance in the game, what components of the game could we see differently that adjusted what luck meant? Before we begin with some of these ideas, this is not inclusive of the balance of the game. I understand there's going to be several balance issues that come with what I'd propose, but it's just more to get a little bit of brainstorming behind a potential core game mechanic that admittedly feels like it's not up to date. And I think that's exactly what MintSkull was pointing out. So the two things that MintSkull talked about, and I could, go over as well. Item rarity does not get affected by luck. And he says if you thought that it was, it's placebo. And admittedly, I think that luck seems very intuitive to make it a mechanic that improves the item quality out of chests. I think that would be an awesome fix. It doesn't right now, but just a consideration, especially with the fact that the items like the map and the key are more exclusive to higher rarities, but I would argue are weaker items than just a good old medkit or toolbox, or even in some cases a beamer. So the fact that the higher rarity items might not even be the most, useful. If we just go strictly off of rarity, like, I don't think it would be too impactful on the balance of the game. And who knows, maybe those items can come with add-ons, right? Like, I know there's a perk. It's one of Ace's perks. I don't own Ace, so I don't know which one it is. Either Up the Ante or Ace in the Hole. I think it's Ace in the Hole. But, yeah, I just, like, it makes me think that chests have a little bit more utility out of them. And, if we really want to just extend the boundaries of, like, what luck has, maybe some chests are empty, right? I'm sure that would probably feel pretty bad for a survivor to spend some time opening a chest for it to just be empty. However, I think that kind of fits pretty nice. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit of wasted time, but it is what it is. You were opening a chest. Sometimes it might not be there. And I feel like that's a fair enough, like, logical point. Maybe the basement chest always has an item and the other ones sometimes have items. Who knows? The second portion that he talked about that could be luck related was the hatch spawning mechanics, where the hatch could potentially just spawn closer to the luckiest survivor. I know that the hatch, at least to my understanding, is a predetermined spot on the map. And then only when the last survivor is remaining will it become visible and open. However, I think that would be another cool mechanic. It currently feels like it's a RNG element where you don't exactly know where the hatch is going to spawn. You can't really detect it until it happens. Before you could, but now you can't. So it just seems like that'd be a cool change. Maybe if you're really lucky, the hatch spawns by you. I know that would probably affect the balance of the game, but at the same time, I think that's just another component that demonstrates luck feels like it could affect that, but it doesn't. And those were the two ideas that MintSkull tossed out. I have a couple more that I thought of that would be kind of cool if it was luck based, but I imagine there's significant changes to the game or people wouldn't be happy with them, and I get that. It's just kind of, like I said, really to shotgun out some ideas for Luck and Dead by Daylight. So one that I thought of, like, I'll go from least complex to the ones that people would hate the most. I made a tiny list right here. The frequency of skill checks. Maybe if you're more lucky, you get more skill checks. Now, that's balance-wise. I feel like some people are gonna complain about how, some kind of weird hyper-focused stakeout shenanigan or the way that people could crank out a bunch of skill checks would be scary, and it potentially would break the balance of the game. I only thought about that because my friend and I, I'm sorry, I just ate food. I need to clear my throat. My friend and I have been running autodidact sometimes. It feels bad when you're running autodidact and you don't get enough skill checks. So I was like, maybe, if I'm luckier, I got more skill checks. Who knows? That would be kind of a cool change. Maybe you don't make it on generators, but maybe you could make it for heals or something. And then Luck has this cool, unique element related to healing. One thing that I thought would be pretty cool was like the crows in the game. The crows don't really have a significant factor other than kind of giving away your position, and if you really want the notifications as killer, you'd run Spies from the Shadows. But what if, based on luck, crows don't always fly away, or maybe crows don't land near you? I thought that was just kind of like a little bit more of a wacky take on luck, but it's like, I think that's pretty lucky, like where the crows spawn. I don't know the crow spawning mechanics. I don't know if anyone does, but the fact that maybe a luck element is like the crows aren't near me, maybe I'm a bit more stealthy, like that could be an element somewhat related to luck, and I was like, that's pretty cool. The other ones that I have are a little bit crazier, so buckle in, because you're gonna hate my ideas. What if pallets had a base chance to just break when you drop them? Right? Let's just, we're really breaking the bounds of the game here. But the way that Spirit Fury just instantly nukes a pallet after you get stunned a couple times, or, it's dropped a couple times, what if pallets just had a small, like 10% chance maybe, where if you drop the pallet, it gets in the way, but then it like crumbles after a couple seconds, or maybe it just instantly breaks apart. And luck made your pallets a little bit, more durable or less likely to break. I know people would be mad at that. Killers would be happy that pallets randomly break for free for them. Survivors would probably be pretty pissed that, pallets are just instantly breaking, but just an idea. Like, it really is just some random idea that I'm tossing out. Another one is, I know that Breakdown was a perk that my friend was running where hooks, break when you get unhooked. What if there was a small chance that hooks actually did just snap when you unhooked somebody? And then, obviously, they'll come back over some time, but it kind of, maybe there's that small chance that if someone was, kind of camping, like, now they have to either wait and slug someone on the ground for a while or take them to a different hook. And that strategy might change a little bit, Once again, killers would probably be really mad that their hook randomly just broke. Maybe if you were a luckier survivor, it broke more often. But just tossing out, these are like fundamentally game-changing, game-frustrating components that I'm sure it's because if you didn't make them lucky, you wouldn't want them to be in the game, Like, it would feel pretty bad if I was just trying to, play killer normally, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the hook that I tried to get someone off of, like someone right by, immediately it just breaks, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. So don't get me wrong, I fully understand why it's not a good change, so to speak, but that was just it. And then the last one that I thought of was like map generation logic. What if, there was a luck element? Because to my understanding, the map generation is kind of like a point system where the total number of points allocates to different tiles and portions of the map that are generated. So what if luck, invisibly pushed that number up a little bit, so then maybe you had a couple more favorable tiles for survivor, maybe a couple more tiles that have pallets. I know that, maps are already a whole other issue in the game, but once again, when you're queuing into a game, you don't know what map you're getting, and that is kind of luck based, unless you're, of course, bringing in an offering. But That's really it. I'll wrap this up because I know the gameplay I put in the background was short. I didn't expect the video to go super long, but what do you guys think would be some cool ideas if you were to have luck be a more prevalent mechanic in the game? I'd love to hear what you guys talk about. I don't know if there's anything else maybe I could have thought of, maybe some that favor killer more, because I realized a lot of the things I mentioned were survivor oriented, which is why I was thinking maybe if there was a base change to the game, like chests being empty or pallets possibly breaking, that base game affect the favoritism towards killer. However, with enough luck, it becomes survivor sided. I don't know, just tossing stuff out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it if you made it to this far into the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the videos and you want to see more like it. I'll be doing Dead by Daylight, so don't mind me. I'll catch you all in the next video, and peace.